He was supposed to be watching out for children. Instead, the Pinellas County Sheriff says one of the department's child protective investigators was making it up, falsifying reports, leaving dozens of kids at risk. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser shows you how long this was going on, even as lawmakers consider hiring more investigators at sheriff's offices around the state.
The Pinellas Sheriff's Office says this man, 29-year-old Stephen Urban, was supposed to be caring for kids as a child protective investigator. Instead, they say more than half of his 142 cases over the past year were falsified. Welfare visits never made. Relative interviews never conducted.
In fact, the grandmother who Urban wrote in a report that he interviewed in November of 2017, she had died 3 years earlier in 2014.
Supervisors spending 2 months revisiting Urban's faked files found 2 cases where children should have been removed from the home.
Fortunately, in none of these cases did any children suffer harm because of Urban's gross misconduct.
Urban's arrest comes just as state lawmakers pass a bill citing the need for more DCF workers in sheriff's offices around the state. Tens of millions of your tax dollars, even as some people who are supposed to be doing that kind of work already aren't.
Yeah, it's bad timing because this guy's an anomaly. I mean, I've never heard of anything like this before. Hopefully we never hear of anything like this again.
Not so. In fact, over the past 3 years, there have been several instances of caseworkers around the state disciplined or arrested. More than 24 such cases investigated in the past 7 years. The sheriff says they will now go back another 5 years to the time when Urban was hired and check those cases. But many of those folks, he says, may have moved on. In the meantime, Urban now faces 10 felony counts of falsifying records.
He needs the harshest of consequences that anybody can get for his actions because he put kids in harm's way when he's charged with making sure no harm comes to kids. And so he failed everybody. He failed the community, but he failed these kids. There's no room for that.
In Largo, Eric Glasser, 10 News.
Because of this latest case, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office has adopted a new policy. Supervisors will now randomly select 5 cases per week from each investigator and call the people identified in those reports to make sure that contact has in fact been made.